And we are live! Hi, everybody! Decided to go a little bit live before stream, just make sure all the sounds and everything are good. Let me... they don't have the prelude on as they usually do. Background. Hey, everybody! Rebel, good to go to have you. Hydra, good to go to have you. Kyle, good to go to have you. Ray, good to go to have you. Red, good to go to have you. Ray, good to go to have you. Tracy, good to go to have you. Rip, good to go to have you. Hydra, good to have you again. Dobby-chan, good to go to have you. Let me see what you guys can say. Your lord, it's early. It's not that bad. It's like 2 a.m. here. I'm 25 minutes early for it. Nice, Kyle. Also, Kyle, did I say good to go to have you? It's not good to go to have you. Also, Angel, thank you so much for being a member for 11 months. Obviously, if you don't know, we have our live channel over on a separate channel now, so it doesn't interfere with the rate of and stuff. So those of you who are subscribed here, I appreciate it very much. And hopefully we'll be able to do that in the future over on the other channel. Jade, good to go to have you. Des, good to go to have you. Kira, good to go to have you. You just sound up a bit. Cool. How's that? Better? Turn yourself up? Yeah, I think I have myself down to reduce the gain issues for recording. Jade, good to go to have you. How have all your runs been seeing? I periodically see you hanging out over in Eorzean and elsewhere. Yeah, woke up like 3 hours ago. What's wrong with still being awake? I have coffee, I have chocolate, hobnobs. I have curry. I've got Indian curry. That's what I've got. Actually, I say curry. The chicken tikka masala. I probably should have eaten before. You need to bring me up. Bring music down a little bit. Cool. Thank you. Rune, good to go to have you. Lolly ho, Astral. Not so awake after doing LXXIX stream with FC last night. Hey, how'd it go? Are you all ready for the 6.5 trailer patch? According to Yoshi P, we're going to be wrapping up the main plot of the current arc. 6.55 will be more about leading into new Dawn Trouble. Music too strong, yeah, lowered it. Not at all. What, because the emotions? AC, because you got that. Just waiting around with grapes and some fruit lunch and soda is the way to be. I just can't wait for free trial players to Eureka more than anything. In all seriousness, like as in like having the extra bodies around. Forgive me, it's ideal. I haven't eaten it since like around noon yesterday. Narkies, good to see you, glad to have you. Saucy, good to go to have you. Let's see if I need to bump. Okay, what about now? A little better? I'll keep rising it up. I just don't want to start peaking. Music's super loud? That's interesting. I must have had to bump it. Here, let's bump. Let me know if the music's better. And let me know if I need to bump up Yoshi P in the future. For some reason, OBS had it bumped up way high. Everyone. It got louder. Well, it's all fixed. This is why we always start a couple minutes early in case. Wolfman, good to go to have you. Miss Xenos. At least he added a proper end to his story, right? Crimson, good to go to have you. Garo, good to go to have you. Did I miss anyone? I don't think so, but yeah. Took us 2 hours to learn mechanics. More than once I was the last person standing attacking bots with 10% Go Warriors. Nice job, Astra. I find that the biggest challenge in my experience with people learning Hades for sure is La Habrea, that phase. Yes, thank you for the 12 months. Jay, thank you for the 12 months. Tracy, thank you for the 12 months. Enjoy your emotes. Actually, we don't have emotes on the other channel, well, the live channel. So if you guys want to use the emotes right now, I would appreciate it. Oh, crap. I unhooked I needed extra USB slot, so I unhooked my Stream Deck, so I can't do the sloppy sound effect. Adrian, good to see you, glad to have you. My name is Chris. I assume it is. I don't often watch live letters. Why do they usually go over in these? So, Chris, it depends on the live letter. So, for instance, there's live letters between patches, and then there's live letters that are kind of like right before patches. The between patches one are kind of, and like preliminary ones, or I guess they're not so much between patches, but they're kind of like the live letter before the actual live letter. Are a little light. They kind of just go over some things. However, this is going to be one of the more hefty ones. So what we're going to get is the 6.5 trailer, almost certainly, which the music for it will probably be the Thalia music based on the precedent set by the other one, and it will be mainly focused on the 6.5 story, and because usually 6.55 trailer will probably have its own trailer, but it may also have 6.55 elements. I doubt it though. And you'll see things like Thalia, the MSQ, Hildebrand potentially, that sort of thing. Beyond that, they may go over anything they might want to start setting up with 7.0 potentially, though they'll usually save those for FanFest. And we will see, maybe if they're going to do a bounce patch or things like that. It looks like we're going to get going, though. So this is the Japanese trailer first. They'll put up the English channel in a bit. Zero on the first. Interesting. That was a dungeon. That wasn't Thalia. Interesting. That's interesting, because the dungeon's supposed to be the inside. Huh. Hey, they're releasing Azura. So this was at the FanFest. I wonder if it'll be tied to Hildebrand. There's the new Crystalline Conflict map. Dream died? Still seems to be going. Let me know if it falls off again. Scala because of the free trial. Oh, more Brandy Hild. There's the 12. Wait, okay, we'll watch the American trailer in a second, or English trailer in a second. There's the Heaven of Water. Oh, okay, that's Limlane probably. Although, why should she be in water? She would probably be wind. She should be wind. Yeah, it'll make. Maybe it's Thaliac? No, Triton. That's Limlane. She's yep, drawing in Umbral Aether from the empty, diving back in Heaven of Water. That's probably Thaliac. Golbez is back? Interesting. Okay, so this is the dungeon we knew was going to happen. So we're either getting another dungeon, or this dungeon that we're going through is going to have more of the 13th as it used to be. Yeah, there should be the Heaven of Wind and the Heaven of Water, and it will, but... Oh, there we go. There's the Zeramis. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, guys, this is what we ask each time. Do you guys want to watch the English trailer right away and then come back to Yoshi P? Also, we will be having translations provided a little bit by me, but mainly from the official Final Fantasy XIV Discord, where we have translators for it. Or, well, not official translators, but I don't even know. But it's the Final Fantasy XIV Discord. Currently, The translations for today are Iluna and Miuna, as usual. Okay, English, please. Good. Well, it looks like Yoshi P will be probably taking a second anyways. So let's see, FFXIV 6.5 trailer. Usually they post it right away. Oh no, come on. It might not be up right away. Square Enix. You go onto their page. It is not up yet. We will pause and come back to it once it is up. In the meantime, we're going to be watching the man, the legend himself, good old Yoshi P. Where are you watching this from? Currently, I am watching this off YouTube. Mossy, good to see, glad to have you. And I will be explaining what they're saying if they don't do... Usually they don't do full translations, though Foxconn being here means they might get it. Also, let me know if I need to adjust volume. Vid volume's a bit low. There's just introductions. We can skip forward a bit. Oh, they're just in a Tokyo crowd, so... I promise if they start saying anything of important, I will tell you. Right now, they're just talking about being excited for Tokyo Game Show, blah, 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 that stuff. They're just speaking Japanese, Adrian. So, I mean, like, if you want to hear them, you can, but I'm going to be talking over them quite a bit. For... Mainly, TGS is different, feeling to FanFest. We haven't been at TGS in 4 years. Yeah, not really, just that sort of stuff. Daliak is a nerd, I mean Sage. I mean, both are true. It's so wild, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's exactly what I expected in a bad way, because it's exactly what I expected, but in a wonderful way. English trailer is up. Okay, we're gonna pause. That's actually a perfect timing because usually that they kind of do a little bit of fluff for a couple minutes. Is it? Oh, okay. It doesn't seem to, growing light. Here, let's try. Growing light English. I'm terrible at spelling. There we go. Okay, guys, here.
To become a world where light and darkness are in harmony, where we're not consumed by insatiable hunger, but filled with hope for what we might create together.
So that's definitely either Eblin or like one of the places that fell on the 13th before the Flood of Darkness.
This is proof that I believe.
Baron, yeah, sorry, thank you, AC.
A light that illuminates the way in darkest despair.
Though I've lost my connection to Hydaelyn, I can still manipulate light to a degree. If there is a chance I could save others with that power, then I have to try.
This is... I bet you this is 6.5.
They came to be. We shall cut a path through them.
Like... No, you know what this is? This is Alo Island variant. That's this is definitely South Sea Island. That's what it is.
However they came to be, we shall cut a path through them. Is everyone ready?
Asura, which is going to be a trial they're going to have.
If I had
And no, there'd be no way to translate.
Perhaps I could make such a dream reality. Perhaps I could awaken us from this endless nightmare.
But clearly, Zero is going to be drawing on the umbral aether of the empty in some way to try and combat the 13th and try to balance them out. The question is how they're going to transport that 8th. Scala, because of the 3 trials, now it's 70. The tribal quest for all the tribes. Island Sanctuary, Red Hill.
Ever has mankind hoped and prayed.
Yeah, Rim, we've been having an issue where people have been all over the place. Heaven of this is the heaven of wind.
And those hopes and prayers have given us fall.
Water. Lin Lane. Ocean. Metallic Bow.
Surrender our all.
Volume too low. Someone just said the volume's too high.
Illuminate your way.
If this power
Saliak.
were mine to wield.
Hear my voice and return to me, Hydaelyn.
Yeah,
Oh, did you go there, Grand?
that Scala, him already being in Scala is not surprising because that was already a thing. But it also makes
Father,
sense.
to the Golden City and to Ral, Grandfather. Yes. Oh, did you go there, Grandfather? To the Golden City and to Ral.
Olive went to Raw, of course. That makes sense.
Thus will the way open to
The dungeon
promised
resistance
land and the death we have been too long denied.
The themes are back.
Thus will
Zero
I,
miss.
Golbez, bring salvation to all.
Your friendship and your trust has helped me to see new possibilities.
Zero's
And
gonna save
together,
her world.
our light can pierce blackest darkness.
Ooh, Euless is actually in the trailer poster. Okay, and let's get back to the man himself.
お願いします。では、
Okay.
まずは、
Part 1, yep. Okay, so it's going to be first week, a little earlier than we expected.
ですね。
So October 3rd is going to be when the patch 1 comes out, and then January to be determined in 2024 for the next one, which is about what we would
最後のメジャーアップデート、大きなアップデートとなるの
Yep,
で、
Graha's
メ
involved
イン
with
ストー
the
リーもちろんたくさん実装されるんですけど、 お話自体はパート1とパー
Here
ト
we
2
could
と
be
いう
seeing
2
Scribbling
部
and
構
Barbarossa
成
again given they
に
weren't
なってます。
killed. I mean, they were trapped in a...
まずパッチ
They were
6.5
trapped
の
in
リリース
this
日自体は
yeah.
2023年10月3日。
Yeah, it is
で
a
そこで
remix of
メイ
the
ンストーリ
Victory
ーパート
Fanfare
1
for
が
sure.
入ります。で、その後、
Become a non-scion.
我々
Here's the hoping room.
ロンドンへ行って、
Looks like
ヨーロ
he's
ッパ
flat
で
out
カンフェ
breaking
レンスを
out
やるの
open
で
holes in reality.
そこでまた
Yeah.
7.0 の情報が更新されてるというパート1見て、ヨーロッ
I
パファ
can
ンフェスを見
see
て
the comment telling me to sleep more. Yeah, everyone's telling you should be to sleep more.
すごいありがとうございます。はい、それではパワーポイントお願いし
Okay.
ます。ちなみに、
Here is the things they've been
会
doing.
場の皆さん、
Normally
僕らの
the
声って
.x5 patches come a little faster, but this time there'll be a little more space between .5 and .55 patch because of the story being divided. Because the .5 is going to be the climax of this story, and the .55 is going to be more about setting up for 7.0.
わけで、まずは何はともあれ、
So there's going to be a, what, 3-month break
巧
period
妙
because
の
it's
ゼ
going
ロ
to
とい
be
うタイトル
October and
つ
then
いてます。こ
January.
ちらがパート1、パート2分かれてます
In
の
Shadow
で、
Bringers, we couldn't really do an extra tribal alliance quest because of the cost and timing, but we had so many requests from around the world that we're doing it this, that we're doing it this expansion. So if you don't know, there's going to be a tribal quest, an alliance quest, where if you've completed all 3 tribal quests, you will get to do a special secret quest in the end. There's been one for every one of the expansions except for Shadow Bringers. So come in 6.55, so you have a bunch of, you have plenty of time if you haven't started the tribal quests.
そ
and
して
even
で
more
すね、
Hildebrand
タ
as
タル
well.
の大繁盛商店続編と。
There's going to be Tataru's Grand Endeavor, but that's going to be in
こんなに
6.55.
部族クエストやってきます。
Splendorous Tools.
いろいろ。その後、月の仕掛け。
The new dungeon that we already knew about, the Lunar Subterrane, which is obviously copied off the final dungeon of Final Fantasy IV, and the Abyssal Fracture, which will be the fight against Zero Mist, which again is also called Active Final Fantasy IV.
ご紹介しようかなと。
And
はい、
Ricardo.
ありがとうございます。はい、まだまだございます。続いてこちら
Already
で
hear
す
me。over them? Cool. will now
今
fix
回
it.
アライアンスレイドシリーズ、まあ、24人で戦うアライアンスレイドはずっと
I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep their voices down because otherwise it will be hard to hear me over them, and they're speaking Japanese, so frankly, most of you will not be able to understand it.
いよいよ完結と なります。
Noctome events sucking the life out of me. There's too much stuff I want. Just remember that there's plenty of stuff in there that you can earn after it's done, like the doggos. So definitely prioritize those things that you can't, or that are be a pain in the ass.
バトルギミックもそうですけど
Golbez sounded distorted. I think that was a memoria absorbed by Zeramis leaking through. It's an interesting idea for sure.
紹介しようかなと。はい、よろしくお願いします。
I guess the last minute grind the PvP for the mountain. Yeah, do it hard, Death. Go hard. Thalia is coming up, and also the new Unreal trial is we're going to do in Thoradin. So if you haven't ever done Thoradin Sinks, now's or like as it would have been at the time. I mean, clearly we'll be a 90, but it'll be tuned that way. Definitely recommend it. Unreals are fun. And if you haven't done Unreals and you'd like to do it with some people, we have a community over on Discord at discord.gg/archives, where you can join us in doing all sorts of fun community things, as well as in playing the game and talking about lore. If Ray, if you'd like to put up a link. Everything in the 24-man raid is going to be extra fancy. We don't need to hide the next trial, so here it is, the Abyss Fractal. Oh, we're gonna zone. They're gonna zone into the Abyssal Fracture later, the trial battle zone. They said 6.5 was early October. No, it's not a week from now, is it? No, it's 2 weeks. So we always. The only question was it going to be October 3rd or October 10th, I believe. We were a little unsure of that. Hey, Alo Island. Are they going to finally reveal it's South Sea Isles? I just put out a short today explaining that I definitely think it's the South Sea Isles for a number of reasons. Yeah, they did say it's October 3rd, but we knew it was going to be the first or second week of October. But it is the first week. Because if you know when the live letter comes out, you will know when the patch comes out, because it's almost always, I believe, 2 weeks after. Okay. Back then, when we designed something like the 1.5 Savage Floor, we hope to have kept that around, and a new variant dungeon and criterion. Oh, okay, I see. Back then, they designed Thoradin to be kind of like the 1.5 Savage Floor, so essentially like a entrance, not an entrance to Savage, but like a hardcore challenge. Also, importantly, I know for some of you, in response to feedback, new rewards are in the works for Savage mode. So they were considering trying to fix rewards and add new ones, and they're going to try to be adding some as soon as Alo, and for sure in 7.0 onwards. 2D support for Stormblood, which we knew obviously was coming for Scala, Burn, Gimlet, for all that. I'll be interested to see how they change Scala, obviously, because Alfino and Ironvold left and fell through the ceiling. There's like a whole animation for it, so it's quite possible that the entire cutscene around that will have to be changed. Housing expansion space yet? No, they have not yet. Yeah, they've only just started. This is they're going over the preliminary things that are coming out with 6.5. Most of these things are things that are already known or stated, but we're getting some images that we may not have seen before. Are lawful descendants of Alo natives? I mean, yes, but Alo natives are Lalafels, so they're descendants, but it's because they already were. Praying for more gland plates again. They've said that we'll get them. I wouldn't look forward to that anytime earlier than 7.0 though. 5 levels of PvP loft and 300 totems. Hey, keep at it, Kirlet. Now's a great time to do Rival Wings or to do Frontlines. If you have never done Rival Wings, now's a great time to do it. There's achievements tied to it. You can get tomestones. You can work on your PvP thing. I'm getting tomestones from the previous expansion alliance raids. I hadn't done those yet currently in Stormblood. That's a great way to do it, Wolf. If we get them at all, we'll be happy. Well, Sabi-chan, they have said that they recognize that people have asked for even more. So, I think 2 separate instances. So, it'll happen. It's just a question of when. Rival Wings is so fun. I agree. Raven, good to see you. Glad to have you. Just wanted to try to say hello. Can't say watching One Piece. Yep, thanks, Raven. Okay, job adjustments. There are job adjustments in 6.5. Don't expect major job adjustments because they usually reserve those for obviously 7.0, but there will be some balancing, probably to slightly tweak. With this patch, we will finally provide support for every MSQ dungeon leading up to 6.5. The screenshot seems to be a bit emotional if you remember what happens to Armvald afterwards. Obviously, I'm reading off a little bit of what they're saying a little bit earlier, but that's also because much of what they're saying is slight fluff with core information, so I'm just focusing on conveying the actual important thing. Yeah, we'll touch on the job adjustments a bit later. Yeah, usually they hold off until like the back half of the live letter. PvP updates will be shown with in-game footage. Island Sanctuary updates, new Sanctuary ranks and visions, new gathering areas in the wild, new crop, ironworks, handicraft, animal structures, and more, and felicitous favors. So, as they said, they're going to keep expanding Island Sanctuary. They have hinted that there will be a whole new island in 7.0, though. So it'll be interesting to see how they do that. Would you please give White Mage a gap closer? I've sent you 356 emails. If it's not called self-rescue, what's the point? Was Erenvald paralyzed, or was it something else? Well, yes. I mean, well, he's not paralyzed until 5.5? 5.55? So technically speaking, it's a while later, because that Skull is 4.1, 4.2. Yeah, teleport the player on Spoiled Stage. I still have yet to unlock Island Sanctuary. It's fun. Definitely a certain type of content. We're just flying through the bullet points, not even new screenshots. So see, this is the preliminary, here's what we're going to be going over for certain things. They may go into more detail for quite a few of these as we go further in. Some of them, though, it is they will just be getting these sort of bullet points as the main thing. They also occasionally describe extra things. So, Foxconn, I think? Or, yeah, Foxconn says, it's my personal wish that players try to catch these new animals. Yes, it's an animal, not a plant, referring to the Morble. Which is weird, because Morble is technically a seedkin, so, I mean, he's not wrong in that it is a living being that's an animal, but it's not like it's a mammalian. It is a seedkin. Yeah. Was the leg injury spinal injury? We don't get a clarification of exactly what kind of injury he suffered from in the attack by Ifrit in 5.x, the lunar Ifrit. However, we know that the implication is that he'll never walk again. The presumption would probably be that it's a spinal injury. However, he does have, I believe, a wrapping around his leg, so I think it's just as possible it could be a purely leg injury. If someone has further clarification, feel free to toss that in. Self-rescue should have a chance to yeet you off the edge of the arena. When I'm playing White Mage, but my sprint's on cooldown and the tank just popped sprint, why are you running? Why are you running? Yes, yeah. He wasn't in cast, but other than that, we don't know, yeah. Leg injury from yeah. The question is whether or not the leg injury is the reason they show the cast is because the leg's injured or because there's no real easy effective way on those character models to show a spinal injury. But the important part is that he incapacitated. Imagine how much Seedkins would confuse FF14's versions of Versio, yeah. We announced Fall Guys collaboration last time. I think I can announce a more precise date for the next FanFest. During the next FanFest. So they'll announce when the Fall Guys collaboration will begin at next FanFest. Margaret, this is the, if you remember the person in Labyrinthos, that was the Charlian researcher that was kind of going kind of crazy because she hadn't slept at all. She is the next custom deliveries person. And the final one for this expansion. Oh, and also the abilities for optional items in the armoire is a thing. So they may clarify exactly what items they mean with this, but a lot of items that previously weren't storable in the armoire will be, which should also free up a lot of your space in your storage closet. Which I'm sure for some of you will become as a great relief. Ryan, good to glad to have you. I'll see me when I pull an all-nighter, first come, first serve, our commissions. Yeah, I was at FanFest in Vegas, and it was great. They mentioned who, I think her name, or showed a picture of her, and she was like, does anybody know actually who this is? And almost the entire audience was quiet. One girl just got up and ran, and Yoshbi like gestured to run up to her. She ran up to him and whispered in her ear who it was. He's like, yes, that's it. Oh man, that must have been great for her. Margaret, nah, Margaret. Margaret? I'm not. Those I would read those as the same. Margaret. 615, 800, I need that armor change. Yeah. A few more updates. I've realized over the years that the MMO updates that deal with item storage in any way are usually very welcome, says Yoshi P. So the implication that also he got at that isn't stated here is that he sees that it's very important to make sure it's a focus. Option to teleport to by destination by expansion. They talked about this either at the I think at the prior live letter. He has a tummy hurting disease. Ray, I had that once. It was tough. I'm about the same, Yukio. I'm also sitting at 25 job coffers too. I need plates. I want to have one plate for every job, including hand and land. I got to get a plate for all my hand jobs. Oh, this is important. Item level restrictions for duty roulette alliance blades are based on. So, basically, the thing that people have been doing to unequip their gear and then queuing for Crystal Tower, they're going to make that impossible now, which should somewhat decrease the Syracuse Towers and the constant Syracuse Towers, World of Darkness, and Labyrinth the Ancients. Clips. Oh, god damn it, you didn't clip that, did you? Well, the reason we've been fighting the 12 is because Dahlia convinced them to spar with us so we can beat them up because the other gods keep beating him up for the glitch. Yeah, EXP and Elegant Tombstones reward for each alliance rate adjusted according to difficulty and time required for completion. So they are changing it so it's not flat across the board. They're changing it so that the amount of XP and tombstones you get is it will better match. So now if you get older ones, it won't feel as bad. If you do like effectively go do the alliance raids you want to do. He's currently explaining it in a little more detail. Give me a second. I didn't catch all of it, so I'm gonna wait till for Miuna's or Luna's translation.
ということでざっと駆け足で参りましたがまだまだあるんですけれども、実装項目としては大体こんな感じですよということで細かいやつがものすごい多いですよね。
No, they're adding item level restrictions for alliance raids, Zenro. They're making it so you can't like go naked and sign up for Labyrinth of the Ancients. Okay, here's what Yoshi P said. The closer alliance raids get to the current patch, the harder they became in these roulettes. Roulettes originally were guaranteed way for new players would still be able to queue for content they needed. With all that in mind, we've adjusted rewards for the alliance raids to better fit the difficulty and time they required to complete. Yeah, roulettes are a way for others to be able to complete it, not just for you to get your tones. But they're making it so you're incentivized to help other players do older content and other content. Okay, so these are the upcoming schedule for FanFest. Obviously, this was the one in Vegas. EU, we knew this was October 21st, so about a month from now. And then Japan, we actually finally have the date for, which is the 1st of January. We will probably get the full trailer for Dawn Trail in Japan at Japan Fan Fest. EU will probably get a bunch of cool things. We may see more with the graphics engine update. We may see Hrothgals. We'll probably see one of the jobs. But I wouldn't expect to see the full trailer for Dawn Trail until Fan Fest Japan. And then obviously, like they said, October 3rd will be the patch 6.5 release, which means Scenario Part 1 and Thalia. Patch 6.51 will be late October, so interesting, so not a week or two later. So it'll be about probably up to 3 weeks later, and that's when Alo Alo, so the variant dungeon, will come out, as well as the Red Sands. I believe the Red Sands is the Crystalline Conflict map. And then 6.55 will come out in mid-January after FanFest 1. So yeah, Japan FanFest is when we will get the full Dawn Trail trailer. I guarantee it 100%. New updates for 7.0 will be shown during London FanFest later in October, as well as in Japan FanFest. Patch 6.51 will be after London FanFest. The Dawn trailer, you say? Yes. Doing World of Darkness during the WoW Exodus was a challenge. Actually doing mechanics instead of brute forcing it with over-level players. Yeah. Yeah. Keys for Alliance rolls get Syracuse. It's on Amon. Watches someone without a Sprout icon flub the current callback. As a Sprout started in April. I'm grateful for the Alliance rate thingy. Yeah. Astria, yeah. Job adjustments. Yeah, Red Sands is the new Crystalline Conflict map, I believe. And it will be good. Job adjustment. Then we'll have JP FanFest in January. From what I've heard, we've already have 3 times as many applications as we have tickets for the JP FanFest, which is almost as bad as America was. Adjustments made in 6.5 to balance the damage outputs between job within each role. Yeah, it's basically a final fine-tuning, because basically this is going to be the last fine-tuning that they'll probably do until 7.0 when we see a major revamp in jobs. Because usually every expansion you get a major revamp. Well, one of the things in the lead up to the new expansion is what's called a job action trailer, where they show all the job actions off for the new jobs. Increased the potency of a certain job actions. Yep. Pretty rare for them to nerf. In the 7.0, the max level for jobs and rotations will obviously change to 100. That's why the patch we did not change any. That's why in this patch we did not do anything to change the rotations. We have focused on the damage balance within a role, because this is supposed to be basically the most refined version of the Endwalker balances. So this is now they're showing up the trial, the Abyssal Fracture for 6.5. Wonder if we'll get Corsair. I know a lot of people are gunning for that. It's pretty, I feel like with the evidence we have, Sabi-chan is pretty likely, or at the very least something akin to Corsair, but I'd feel fairly confident. I did a Dawn trailer analysis if you want to check that out, that Ray if you want to link. They're gonna fix the Machinist. Machinist isn't broke. We're not being able to make it put, there would have been a fun cheap. Yeah. Well, future Des. There's always the future. Pirate playable. I mean, Corsair is also just playable pirate. Literally. It'd be funny if they buff war again. Yeah, just give it clemency. I'd be really surprised with Pictomancer, but there is Ink Mage in Hero's Gauntlet, plus all the stuff in in Oathard. So like, it's not impossible. There's lore support for it, but I don't know. I would be surprised. But it's definitely low on my expectations, but it's definitely possible. Okay, we're preparing the live demo right now. We've connected to a developer server that is already loaded with some 7.0 data. Please don't look at it. You might notice the XP bar already being adjusted to 90, not being max level. Ink Mage lore? Yeah, there's stuff with Shugendo's a little bit different, but there's the Onmyoji and stuff around ink magics and stuff in parts of Doma, Nagsha, in Hingashi. And then you have, in Hero's Gauntlet, there are, I think, what are they called? Ink Mages or something like that when you go through the Ilmeg section. Ooh. So this is the battle arena for the new trial. Yoshi P has his little black mage. For those of you who don't know, Yoshi P is a black mage main and plays a Lalafell. Ooh. That is. Just says Zero Masu. That is. Wall boss, no positionals. 13.3 million XP for to reach level 91. Interesting. It is perfect, Hydra. I agree. It's literally perfect. It is interesting how similar it is to, in a certain sense, to Zodiark. I hope it's quite different in execution. We love to rule the world. Oh! Yoshi be bad at those jumping puzzles. Oh, dogs. You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of like the 1980s Fly, the one with like Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, the cracks in the wall that you saw are probably those cracks you're seeing in the world are, and the black aether you're seeing around, the astral aether you're seeing around it, are probably Zeramis trying to crack holes in reality, because we know it's capable of creating astral gates. The question is, what will it do with those? Zodiac got nerfed. Dragons of old are proud, yeah. Dragoons of old. Doshite. Something, I think, I don't know the kanji for this one, but it's magic and something. What is this magic? What is this something you're doing that you're using? What is this magic you're using? Oh, you maybe that because you use light magic to try and slow it down. Watashi wa kaeritai desu ke no desu ke nani no. Okay, so basically he's saying they're saying she, I guess. They're saying I want to return home. It's like, it's my wish to return home. Kind of like, what is this magic you're using? I want to return home. Why are you getting in my way? It kind of sounds like a version of Zeramis's theme, the musical theme for sure. Light magic to repair the cracks, or at the very least, where you're going to use light magic to break the shroud around it, right? So there's definitely that. Oh god, Shadow Dragon attacks. Yeah, Diablos. It makes sense because the Void Sent part of it. That's different. Naraba. That's a lot of stacks. Also, this is normal mode, they're saying. Sorry, I don't know some of this kanji. Some of those are like, I'm sure like if you play Japanese video games they're common, but those are not ones you usually I've seen like when I'm reading books. It's a Lion Akmorn, yeah. Tank Buster on a Black Mage. He's definitely had two multi-tank buster. Oh, that's an interesting idea, Hydra. I'm seeing if the translators made a note of what the speech. The translators didn't make a note of the speech. Sorry. I'll go back and read over it later with the G show. The demos. So for you guys who don't know, this is inside the heart of the Red Moon of the 13th. Or, yeah, the 13th. That's why we went through the lunar subterranean to get here. Which also makes sense, because if you think about Zeramis is made up of Azdaia and the remaining Aether of the Shard of Zodiark that would have remained on the 13th. And so the place it would, like, its home. And also why this looks like Zodiark's, where we fought Zodiark a little bit, because it's effectively the same place, just instead of Mare Lamentorum, it's the Red Moon. There might be a debuff you haven't seen in a while. Don't be nervous and move too quickly. There's no fence, so there might be something trying to knock you back. Yeah. Zodiark and Zeramis make sense because they're harkening back onto each other, because they're effectively being fought in the same place, just on the source and the reflection. I think that's why it's harkening back to it. I mean, plenty of people have said that, Michael. I don't personally buy it for a couple of reasons. I think the most likely reflection of us is whoever's stuck within that Golbez's Memoria Crystal, the original Golbez, according to him. That based on, and that's effectively seems like it's the Cecil and Cecil, and to me is probably the most likely candidate. I also don't know that it's interesting to make Zero our reflection of us, because then it's just making all primary characters like, okay, we did that with Arbor. I don't know that it's okay for not everyone to be a reflection. Yeah, I think it unlikely, but we'll see. I could be wrong. Yeah, debuff we haven't seen in a while. I don't think this fight will feel like too many puzzle mechanics. It's more of an execution fight. That could be fun. Okay, Crystalline Conflict updates. CC updates, PowerPoint first, Game Demo later. So they're going to show us the new map, or at least they're going to show us some of the new changes with Crystalline Conflict in a bit. But they're going to talk about it first. The new map will be out in 6.51, and that is the Red Sands, correct? Yes, okay, I was right. How would they make us absorb her? They would probably not. Because the thing is, as long as they have corporeal form, there's no necessary reason that we would. Or that we should. Or need to. You know, Arbor was a very different circumstance. Can't wait for what glam we get from PvP. Yeah, definitely Prince Sun. I'm always excited for the new reward track. Whether it's mount or armor. I think that voice was the real Golbez. Not Durante. I doubt that AC because Durante's in the Memoria. Although some of the fiends are in Memoria so and they come back, so my impression is that Durante would have a different voice and two would have a very different opinion about going around saving the universe and would not, and saving the 13th and would not be like Golbez. We got feedback that it is sometimes difficult to see and lose track of which team you're actually on when you just look at the UI. So now you can have that fixed on the left side. They're changing it so it's much easier to see what team you're on and who's on your team. New line on the field indicates the comeback point. So there's going to be a golden circle on the field that shows where you have to get if you want to come back and be able to win the match during ties and other times. No, I think he's broken. I think he's broken and willing to sacrifice others in pursuit of the things that he desires. I don't think he's crazy. I think he's wrong. I don't think he's crazy. If he's just playing crazy, then Emet-Selch's just playing crazy, and I think arguably Emet-Selch's just as insane, if not more so. I think it'd be cool to see Zero join up with the other 13th residents from the first. Yeah, I think there's a good chance that that'll happen at some point, Essen. It's just a question of I think they're setting up the 13th, the beginning of the 13th salvation, and at a later point we're gonna have a further story dealing with that. I think 6.5 is just the beginning of the 13th story and our relationship with it. New setting display countdown timer 10 seconds prior to the commencement of overtime. So basically it'll warn you if you've got 10 seconds until you're about to hit overtime. So if you're not in overtime, 10 seconds till you'll win or lose. If there's no winner after 5 minutes, overtime starts. The background changing alone was too confusing. So now you're getting a countdown, so don't forget to be on the crystalline when OT starts. Yeah. PvP is bad now. I don't know when you were playing in 14, but for the vast majority of people, I think this is the best time that it's been. For it's a lot easier to get into, and there's a lot of options for how you engage with it. I mean, if you mean like it's worse now than it was during like 6.1 or something, I mean maybe. One way to test the theory is we can't just absorb souls willy-nilly. Love the countdown timer. We know Emmett was alive for like thousands of years. That probably would explain the Wayne. Well, I mean, Sabi-chan, Golbez has been alive for 10,000 years on the 13th, attempting to save it. So very similar. I can't why, but I love it that the 13th storyline turned into the 7 point. I'd love it if they turned. Yeah, that'd be interesting, Gabriel. Yeah. Let's get some old fast rewards for PvP. That I agree with devoutly, Aston. My favorite armor in the game was a feast reward, and I am very mad because I will never be able to get it unless they. I wouldn't even if it was a palette swapped version. Different. I would take that. That would be fine. Okay. The UI will get a few changes. For example, the indicator that shows which team is winning and the comeback point will also be shown in the UI as a line, not just on the ground or on the map. So that's what some of the things are showing us. Comeback point, more visible checkpoint, clear progress. Winning team indicator. So the winning team's color will be glowing. This will be... During overtime, the gauge indicates how long the losing team can remain away from the tactical crystal before the end match runs. So this, if this runs out, and if you're not on the crystal and this runs out, you'll lose or win, depending on if you're ahead. So yeah, percentile, checkpoint. Just more clarity. Yeah, I feel you, Vix. I wanted the Shadow Cleaver Feast Reward forever, but I wasn't even playing FF at the time. Yeah, I'm not a fan of time things in general when they don't need to be digitally scarce. Like, I appreciate that there should be rewards for accomplishing things, but also... Yeah. Anyways, I just wish the majority of Allegan sci-fi theme wasn't locked behind PvP. Majority of Allegan... Oh, glam. Okay. I'm fine with unique rewards, but if you look at how much high-tech theme is locked behind PvP stuff... I guess the thing sticky is that you can do, if you literally do the frontline roulettes, you get a bunch of XP, a bunch of tomes, and frontline's so chaotic that it's not like it's, you don't, I'm someone who plays sweaty, and I still don't play sweaty in frontlines because you don't need to. You can just go zerg around with everyone and earn those rewards incredibly fast. So I guess I would say the thing is you don't have to play Crystalline Conflict, you don't have to play Rival Wings, you can just have fun in frontlines and earn them pretty easy. But I do hear you on that. Yeah. Artificial Scarcity, baby, yeah. Right for the Shadow Cleaver Gland, but I got screwed over by Q times. Yeah. It is important to remember that all the things that are in the season reward track that they've been doing currently, they said will come back around at some point. So what they said when they first introduced it was at some point they would be available to be bought later. They didn't explain how or when, and they haven't touched on it again. But if you missed something in the past from anything from like the 6.0, 6.1 reward tracks, they said that they would come back. So this is the new area of the Red Sands. This is going to be in Hydaelyn. I suspect that this is south of the Scully Desert. As you can see, the Oasis and the Sands, and that's what that area is described to be like. Yeah. No wish Rival Wings had a training manual. It's called League of Legends AI. The only thing I say is work from the front lines being locked by and getting wins on specific maps is something I don't really like when those maps are on a rotation. Yeah, it is annoying, Ryan. I think the thing is that all frontline rewards are best to be seen as because that rotation's like day to day, right? The rotation, the best way to think of it is that all frontline specific rewards are long-term goal, unless it's like through Wolfmark, you know, the coins and whatnot. Okay, we're getting a trailer for Red Sands. This is gonna be in southern Hydaelyn. We don't know what the mechanic for it is yet. We're now peeking at the map. Also, all the adjustments that they made for the Crystalline Conflict that they showed will be present in the other PvP modes as well. We're zoning in a 1v1 special debug command. Interesting. Oh, ooh. Oh, hey, sand, kind of like in Omega. Okay, interesting. The Oasis is a place where you can recover. Interesting. So you don't just have to rely on potions. You don't just have to rely on. Interesting. Oh, I like that. Crystalline, I mean, hey, 6.5, and we've been saying this is like, if there's going to be Crystalline, Crystarium housing, 6.5, the 6.x patches are the first time that could be a reasonable, like a very feasible thing. I mean, from a lore and storytelling perspective. Because inter-reflection travel is becoming more and more of a reality, and has multiple characters, plot beats. Waiting to find out if Zero stays on the source. I think Zero is going to be focused on the 13th, but I think she now believes in a way to save her world that's not at the cost of everyone else and working with us, and that's kind of her whole arc. Okay, when you're in the green zone, the Oasis zone, there's a regain that takes for 7,500, and even when you leave the zone, it gives you 30 seconds regen buff, so it's worth going back to. There you see the comeback point. This is overtime countdown. So he said the comeback point, that gold circle is the comeback point that you have to hit. Firmament was disappointment? Firmament's my favorite housing in the game. What's wrong with it? Okay, and caught up. Going in for another round. Are we getting Crystarium housing? Not yet. It's not been confirmed and not stated it happened. However, there's a lot of interest, and from a lore and storytelling standpoint, there are now reasons to think it could happen as after 6.x. I wouldn't expect it to. If it happens at all, the absolute earliest you could possibly expect it was 77.x. I mean, it is Ishgard. It's not just me. A good number of people dislike how gray it is. You mean? But it's Ishgard's like great. And also, that's interesting, Rune. You're the first person I've heard dislike it. Everyone I know, like, yeah. 100 out of 10 would movie, yeah. Any word on female Rothgar? Not yet, Tristan. We probably won't hear anything about them until EU FanFest would be the earliest. We'd either hear about them at EU FanFest or Japan FanFest. I would suspect EU FanFest, because Japan FanFest will probably begin with the actual full Dawn Trail trailer. EU FanFest, you'll probably see a job, Rothgals, maybe, and more stuff like that. I love the Emporium. Yeah, me too, Astria. It's one of my favorite places in the game. Worked hard on the journey. Charlian housing is something I've wanted, but it might be impossible. Zenro, I want it desperately, and if you look, there's a district in the back of Charlian that would make sense for it. So yeah, there's the map has a special gimmick, the scorching heat waves. So if you go back for a second, they were pointing that out. There we go. These, which they tick for damage. They tick for the exact same damage that you get from the Oasis heal. So you're gonna have to use the Oasis heal potentially in order to try and counteract that. More housing? I think that'd be less likely just because what we've seen for housing, when that would make a lot of sense. I would expect Crystarium before anything, because there's a lot of places that would, but I mean, could be. Crystarium has a lot of adventurers coming in and out, has a lot of buildings outside of the main area that would make sense. Warning, do not click the bite button. It's connected to the man's power. Yeah. You just need to wait a bit longer, yeah. Oh! Oh, I love that. Yeah! I love movement stuff. That was awesome. What was that creature, though? Was it the sand lion? Yeah, it was. It's like the same guy, the queen that you find in Hunter's Cry. More restoration. Ooh, I love that idea, AC. Alamegan housing when? I don't know. I would doubt. There's no precedent for housing for a place that's in a city, correct? So I would doubt we'd get Alamegan housing, but hey, they could get rid of that. Ant lion from 4. Yeah. Exactly, Spear. Sabotender. 1,000. Oh! I'm gonna love this map. Man, it wasn't enough to love Ul'dah starting Thanalin already. They were christening conflict maps in the sands, baby. Stream, can't find it on Twitch. The only live stream here is yours, but the stream audio is so quiet. The stream audio is quiet because they're speaking in Japanese. So I'm doing most of the explanation of what they're saying. I mean, again, I could turn up the volume right now, but it's not going to be anything interesting. There is no translate. They do not translate most of the live letters. That's why one of the reasons that we stream it. Monstrous Nest, you cannot guard those needles. Yeah. Oh, so interesting. So you can't guard the needles from the Sabotender. However, if you can share it. So if you're two tanks like grouped together, they could block some of the damage. Well, a Verber restoration would be fun, AC. I mean, no one lives there other than the Pixies, so I don't know what you exactly restore, but... No, but you're right. This map has a lot of technical aspects. It's called Smileton, Ray. Moon housing is just Smileton. I mean, to be fair, we know there are people who are going to live there, so it's basically Smileton and Great Ensville in general. Here's what they could be. Yeah, Michael, I have some stuff. I mean, my hope is Geomancer. The likelihood of that seems, we'll see. But if it's caster and melee DPS, Corsairs likely at one scene based off the Will Turner looking motherfucker that we are in the teaser trailer. The caster, I think there's plenty. They're either going to surprise the frick out of us. You know, obviously some people love Pictomancer and plenty of other things. I've been on the Geomancer train for a long time, but we'll see. Give me Beastmaster. I'm maybe in a minority. I want Beastmaster really bad, but I desperately want it as a limited job. I do not want it as a combat job. Or as... Yes! Let's go! That looks gorgeous! That's the new glam for the reward track.
そしてですね、まだ トロフィークリスタル
Oh, I love that.
の装備がこういった
Hey, for those of you like your casual wear.
なんでしょう、カジュアルかつなんだったらちょっと別の
Yeah, even later Yoshi P referred to as casual wear.
ウェアなんです。すごいスポーティーな感じの。はい、こちらスポーティーな形の装備が、はい、こちら
Looks like they're about to go play Splatoon and wall run in Cyberpunk. Again, I want to reiterate, if you have been afraid to do PvP, just do your frontline roulettes every day, or whenever you're doing your roulettes, do front lines, the frontline roulettes. It's a lot of fun. It's really low, like it's low key. It's really, really low key, and you don't have to know what you're doing to have an okay time and to get your rewards. So getting any reward, getting the PvP rewards is super easy. If you have jobs you want to level, it's an amazing way to do that. But it's a great, it's big recommend. Front line's that really big one? Yeah, it's the 72 man. It's just a bunch of chaotic fun in a good way. Thalia! This is the Heaven of Water that we're seeing in the background right now. This is the final Alliance raid. Okay, also the sporty gear specifically is tradable for trophy crystals. So the Paladin Glam is the one that's part of the reward track. The sporty looking gear is trophy crystals. Yes, and if you're a part of our Discord server, Eorzean Archive, discord.gg/Eorzean Archives, Ray put up the link. You can come join us when we do community events. We run front lines, we do trials and raids and alliance raids together. So we have events going on each and every week for multiple kinds. And if you like talking about lore, learning about it, we have book club and plenty of other stuff. Sorry to self-promote, but we'd love to have more people. We'd love to have more energy, more people hanging out. Okay, Yoshi, as mentioned earlier, we followed the 12 in this series, but anyone that has followed the story closely might be wondering how we're going to fill one last 24-man. Usually we have 4 bosses. Yes, I've been wondering that, because if you remember, Nymea was with Thaliak, because they're brother and sister. So the question is, who's the 4th boss? Because all that's left is Thaliak, did I say Thaliak? I meant Ulthik. Thaliak, Limlane, and Oshan. And in order, it should be Thaliak, then Limlane, then Oshan. This is the Heaven of Water, so that's obviously the Charlene motif. Makes sense, because Thaliak is the patron of Charlene. Hey, there's Thaliak's ewer. Pouring endless water. Oh. I love this music. You can see the Mandragora on the top of buildings, but you're also going to see a Tomberry on the top of this building, one of the buildings over here, which is interesting. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's so pretty. Yeah, Tomberries. You can see Tomberries, which is interesting because Tomberries are associated with Oshan more than anything, so you think the Heaven of Wind. Oh. Good. Welcome back. Welcome back. This Heaven of Water, to this path in the Heaven of Water, or something like that. I don't think that's actually Michi. I actually forget what kanji that is. Tomberries, my love, yeah. There's 3 alliance raids and 12 normal raids. How did they get them all to put out in 5 patch? That's what they've done they've done since they've been doing expansions. Because they released 1 alliance, it's 6.0 is raid, then 6.1 alliance raid, 6.2 raid, 6.1 alliance raid, and the raids come in 4. So there's 12 raids, but they come in sections of 4. Dorek. Everyone to wear the Tomberry, yeah. Still think there's a Nimian connection. I mean, there is some, yeah. Existence on water and deeply connected to the water. And also with Aloe Aloe coming out. Oh my god, Yoshi P is just so good. He's clearing them out, no problem. Look at him, he's using a different kind of power of the gods. Yoshi P, yeah, the 12 have nothing on me. Definitely not dev kit tools. Yeah, Zenro. So they always release, I think a week, at least in Endwalker it is, a week after the expansion drops, they release the first raid tier. Levi, good to see you, glad to have you. What have I missed? I'm on break at work. Oh, pretty decent amount of shit. Basically all the things you'd expect. Trailer came out, some changes, crystalline conflict stuff, a little bit of detail stuff. They're just talking about Thalia now. Or in the expansion release, yeah. Exactly, toxic. Mishibi has mastered the Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, the 12 of nothing. I mean, yeah, I saw two kinds of comments. Give me that button too, and look, there's a cheater. Two different types of players. Give me that button, and you're cheating. Also, if you look in the water, it looks like there's axolotl there. Okay, so we're gonna see further parts of the Heaven of Water. Thaliak. Yeah, Sariaku. You fucking nerd. Oh, I love him. Look at him. Beautiful man. He does kind of look like Barbaricia's nerdy younger brother. Yes, 3rd of October is the 6.5 release date. We always knew it was going to be the 3rd or the 10th. But we now know it's the 3rd. And that the 6.55 patch will be released a week after, or slightly after Japan Fan Fest in January. We needed to make Thaliak handsome. No fence again, so you can get knocked off. It looked like you could come back from it, like in Seiryu, but I guess you're gone. It's time. It's time for Aishi. It's time, my lovely children. My children that I love. Ami no namae ni oite tsuragi no. We have our name for a reason. Let me show you our power, something like that. Expect Thaliak to use the most evil of magics. Mathematics! Please. Gonna be a grind mechanic on the arena floor looking at squares. Wish I could stick around. Have a good one, Levi! A VA with Hydaelyn. Yeah, definitely possible, Slappy. He's creating clones. Okay, he's gonna Ewer, so he's gonna knock you back. I bet you, yeah. Yeah, because here comes the wave. You got some pretty boy vibe. You definitely do. Okay, that's what we're gonna see of. That is as much as they're gonna show right now of that. So. Water and clones. Oh my God, it's Camino. What is that battle theme? We don't know yet, but it's gonna, assuming Oshan's the final boss, it's going to be based off of probably Oshan's worship. However, I would hope, what I would have hoped was it would be Limlane's worship, because then it would have been kind of like a sea shanty, like but we also don't know what the 4th boss is, so the question is, if we don't know that, then the 4th boss may surprise us, yeah. Excuse me, Genshin Impact. Can't wait for the 10th of October. Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm gonna be farming the shit out of that. I say it's Derek. Oh, it's either Derek or the Oppo. I mean, Derek acts like all of the ways that Oshan's described to act. However, he also could just be a worshiper of Oshan, who are described similarly. Oh, I love them all. And then when they introduce dual die channels in 7.0, there's going to be so many cool things you can do with it. Because it won't just be monochromatic. You'll have a lot of the ability to be able to, like, alter it. Oh. That was, the first one was fending and gear, yes. The second one, I believe, was maiming. Yeah, tank. No, sorry, the second one was ranged. This is ranged, the ranged gear. This is the scouting gear. And then this is the caster gear. Oh! I know a couple people who are going to be very happy with that. Well, that'd be interesting, Ray. I wonder. It's definitely possible. Yeah, exactly, Swiftblade. Yeah, that's it's a pretty fair assumption based on what we understand about him from the lore, but also they like zigging when we expect them to zag, so I'm not entirely sure if they'll just go with what seems obvious. That's a nice top for caster, yeah. Oh, this is a new housing item. It's a field of Elpis flowers. Oh, let me turn up. Speaking of, let me turn on my Elpis.
すごい家の中に家具なんだ。はい。すごい。まあちょっと7.X シリーズ中に、はい。まあその
Got a little Elpis flower in the background.
ね、増やすアップデートなんとかやりますって言ってるんですけど、内装替えみたいなやつも、はい。いよいよ本格的に動き出してますんで、取り替えてしまうみたいなやつ。はい。はい。っていうのもまたご注目いただければ。これは敷き詰めたい人がいっぱいいるに違いない。そして、こちら。
Why do I need that? All the G-pose opportunities? Yeah. Hey, now stairs up. Some flowers you have seen before for the indoor night. Stairs for the garden. So that you can get this in... This says housing item, but that almost looks like the... Yeah, that's definitely a housing. That's in the Gridanian lavender beds. This will make Dragoons happy. Looks like you'll be able to get on your roof pretty easy, yeah. A Maggie station? That's such a bizarre... Was someone like yearning for that? I mean, cool. I guess like if you want to make your house into like a mecha station. Your neighbor might suddenly be conquered by Garlemald, says Yoshi P. Just laughing just watching them talk about it. Hey, new clothing. That's some good casual wear. Fashion glams that they're releasing. They didn't say where it comes from. It's the Devout Final Fantasy 3. That's funny. That's funny. It's very cute. Now they're talking about how Lawfels are gonna love it. Oh, what's this? It might be related to Island Sanctuary. Apparently that makes sense with the little cat guy you've got. That's gonna be an Island Sanctuary reward. So if you haven't been in Island Sanctuary, now's a good time to check it out. It's really fun. Good slow life content. Not all Lawfels can one-up Kryl.
自称ヒゲのおじさんという方がいらっしゃいまして、お名前をファイナルファンタジーの生みの親坂口さんっておっしゃるんですけど、あのヒゲのおじさん、
Interesting.
なんでこのゲームにはカッパがないのかねと。カッパになったりするじゃないか FF って。まあ言ってましたね。じゃあカッパの着ぐるみ作りますかっていうことでですね。
Wait, no, not actually. He said Kamakurumi. I was like, no way.
特徴はですね、このどこを見てるかわかんないうつろな目ですね。14の中に実装されている動物着ぐるみ系みんなこんな感じなんで。
People ask for all sorts of animals, but then someone asked someone asked.
また着ぐるみ戦争の中に新たな火種がどうかな勝てるかな
They were all sorts of other animals asked for, but they went for a kappa. This is what they're talking about. This will only be implemented later in 6.5, closer to 7.0. They're adding a kappa suit.
けど、ファイナルファンタジーシリーズの生みの親坂口さんのたっての希望でしたんで。
I like my brain broke for this for a second. I like heard him and I was like, he can't just said he didn't just talk about the fact that they just made a Kappa outfit, right? And then he picked up the paper. Yeah, exactly. Yes, and told Student Joyer is finally a worthy opponent. Lordy.
お知らせしていくこととしては、
コンテンツとしては大体こんなところ。
じゃあ、せっかく実機もあるので、
How does a game that game look that shows this on stage as well was a wish from Saka? Wait, apparently Sakaguchi-san asked for the cop outfit, or maybe he's asked.
なぜかね、文字できないんですけど、なぜかね、いつも夜なんですよ。なので今。
Well, I'm not gonna get more sleep today. Yep. Welcome to the live letter group. This is how live letters always go. Ooh. Okay, so they're in the Azim step. They're on top of Azim's bowl thing, Azim's statue. Why? The weather's no good. Yep. Oh, the new mount. This is a mount from Alo Alo. Which is adorable. It's interesting that the like pixie-like beings are there. I wonder if they're going to establish in the lore like that's where pixies existed on the source. Oh, but how's it going to look on a row? Yep. The smile. And we know what happened to Scholar's second fairy. Everyone's mind went to what does it look like on a row. My Lala looks like she doesn't care. Oh my god, the Lala's like, look, like Supermaning. No, in the fairy doesn't. Yeah, Pimson, it's so if you missed it earlier, that same fairy was in the trailer, and that area was almost certainly the Alo Alo variant dungeon. So that is what it is. Like treasure map. Asabi-chan, I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of these days. I'd be fairly surprised. A lot of people have asked, and there's not necessarily precedent for that, but precedent for other things. Yeah, should have been Feoul. Well, Feoul wouldn't have made sense necessarily for the context of the dungeon. However, maybe one day they'll add a Feoul mount like that because they've made the rigging and all that for it. It could be that we could see it. Oh, hey. This head is also one of the minions from Alo Alo, and then there's also another minion I see down there. Oh, interesting. You're right, Des. It is the same face that's on the moon. Yeah, I think they're mentioning that right now. But the question is, did the Loporrit see it? Did one of the Lalafell see it on the moon? I'm curious. They open the cash shop? Sure. Maybe. I'd be surprised, but maybe. Oh, that's probably from Island Sanctuary. Cash shop. I don't feel like they necessarily feel like a cash shop item. And I also would be surprised even if they did put it in the cash shop. If they put it in the cash shop because they did all the rigging work and stuff for that, they would, at some point, you would almost certainly end up... They would... Let's go! Sabo Mount Gang! Luna Tender Mount! I saw it on his bar and I just thought it was the minion. Let's go! Yes! I love... Okay, now I want the Princess Luna Tender as a mount. Oh, I love this. My boy. It's glorious. Oh my god. Oh, new motorcycle mount. And also they're adding a UFO mount. That's the UFO from well, that's interesting. Oh, is it? I think it might be a two-seater. She's saying that the Lalafell's standing on the seat with her foot. But there's one more mount, and the final mount is the UFO from Manderville. The tractor. Yeah, if you look on the back, it has like the tractor thing. Yep. Farming bike. Too stupid for the moon. Too stupid. I'm too stupid for the moon. Yep. Another motorcycle. Well, if you care about the lore of the motorcycles, it makes sense why there's a bunch of them. Why they've been making a bunch. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So when it takes off, does it take you into the UFO? This is almost certainly going to be from Manderville. Nope, you stay floating in it. Oh my god, that would be funny. Yeah, it is perfect clockwork. The perfect mount doesn't exist. The perfect mount. I've yet to start Manderville stuff. Got to start that now. Yeah, hey, now is a great time. Now is a great time to do old content. Now is the best time in the game to do old content. 6.5 is going to come out, and there's going to be a couple months until 6.55, and then you've got a bunch of time between 6.55 and 7.0. Now is the time. Go back and do Eureka. Go and do Manderville if you haven't. Go and do Bosnia. Go and do any of the deep dungeons. Go and do any of the stuff you wanted to do but have been putting off. The next, what, 11 months? 10, well, probably not quite. Like 9 to 10 months is a great time for it. Okay. This is how we fly, so we're not allowed to hop on board. UFO in our generation meant kidnapping like aliens abducting you, says Yoshi P. There's a lot in patch 6.5. I couldn't even touch on the Fall Guys rewards yet. That will be during FanFest. There are going to be Fall Guys rewards specific in FanFest. They might be bought for MGP though. Yes, the new motorcycle will almost. I will bet you $5 will be Island Sanctuary reward because it's kind of tied into the lore of Island Sanctuary and Garland Ironworks and all that. Where is this normally? Normally it's in Square Enix headquarters. Right now this stream is right now they're at the Tokyo Game Show. I need to get my Golbez Xenimus mount finally to do DR Savage. Yeah, and finally do DR Resonate Savage. Get the Cerberus mount. Oh, you know what, Jade? If you're around, do you have what Discord are you part of that usually you do it? Or do you actually, Ray, do you ever run them? I know you do Eureka, or Baldur's Arsenal. It played Island Sanctuary music when you mounted, so I assume so. I didn't even catch that. Good catch, Tess. Using the 11 months to force myself to do Island Sanctuary for the booty shorts. Now's the time. 82 minutes late. What's the TDR? Do you want someone who wants help? Because there's been quite a few things. Patch is coming out on the 3rd. Okay, planned improvements to the server infrastructure. In the interest of expanding our server infrastructure options in the future, the use of cloud data centers is under consideration. A North American cloud data center will be temporarily implemented for the purpose of a public stress test to be held during the 6.5x patches. The data center selection screen will display the cloud DC as an option upon 6.5's release, and it will be accessible once the tests commence. So they're basically trying to preempt having any, Q Walker situations again. And they did a bunch of things to prevent that. For instance, Dynamis exists as a server. But they're taking even further steps to make sure it doesn't happen. ETRPG. Pimpson, they might actually by the end. A lot of times they show off new merch at the end of live letters.
あそこにそれが出てくるんで、びっくりしないように。
Yoshi B says, queues during our last expansion release were bad. Once you dropped out, it was hard to get back in. We were trying to prevent that from happening again. Further details regarding the Cloud Data Center stress test will be revealed at a later date on the Lodestone. Trailer got released, Kevlar, but stuff about Thalia, stuff about Red Sands, the new PvP map, stuff about balances, rewards for a bunch of those things. You just missed a bunch of mounts that are being rewarded for Island Sanctuary, as well as probably Aloe. Cloud DC sounds like a recipe for lag spikes. It'll be interesting to see. That's why they're stress testing it for sure. Further details regarding Cloud Data Center stress test will be revealed at a later date. I love the smiley face katana. Or smiley face katakana. Oh, smiley face katakana. Are you talking about like shi or so or shi or tsu? I'm assuming you're looking at shi or tsu. Does it kind of look like, yeah, tsu, yeah. It's so funny. I'm used to looking at it like a letter. I don't think of it like, I don't see a smiley face anymore, but I definitely, when you guys pointed out. Um, 1.6.5 drops the DC selection screen from North America will display the Cloud DC as an option. This is a test phase, and for North America. There will be a topic update on the Lodestone. Not to be confused, the character from FF Cloud. So it's not a Cloud data, it's not a Cloud server as in Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. How we find Yotsuyu alive and well in Google Travel? She returned to the live stream. I think it's pretty fair to say, Wario said. Sadly. But then she's at peace now, so there's comfort. There's a good chance that her soul will be able to be reborn and live a better life and a more joyful life and one not so wrapped up in torment and suffering. Me when I. And a reminder, if you like to do content with people, if you want to do new Thalia raid, or you want to do Tombstone events, or hey, you want someone to do PvP with, or show you how to have a good time in Frontlines, you can join us on Discord at discord.gg/Eorzean Also, we're a YouTube channel. If you want to watch some of our old contents, we do a lot of lore videos. If you want to go check them out. We got a bit of time until they move on to the next thing, so gotta vamp. Please let her be reborn, justice for Gosetsu. I think it's very fair to say, Michael, that almost assuredly her soul will be able to return to the ethereal sea and be able to be reborn, cleansed of some of the struggle that she had in life, and get to experience enjoy. Unlike her brother, who just is simping it straight to hell and is just like, nah, I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna stay angry. Fuck y'all. I mean, at some point, I'm sure his soul will drift away and fade away into the live stream and maybe even break down. But right now, it seems like he's just like, nah, fam. Hate all of you, and I'm staying right here. Yeah, I got a bet writing out. I personally would say there's 0% chance. Obviously, there's always a chance. Oh, the Kentucky Fried Chicken event. They referenced this on Twitter. So there's a Kentucky Fried Chicken glam. So if you don't know, Kentucky Fried Chicken is huge in Japan. And it's also a thing that's bought for Christmas. But yeah, so KFC event. Yeah, definitely agree, Toxic. Yeah, Colonel Sanders. There's more coming up. Yeah, they do have a few more announcements, including the KFC event. Exactly, Rune. That is exactly who Asahi is. The chicken is kind of pale. I feel like that's pretty normal to me. I don't know. Maybe my chicken's pale too. Oh my god. Sadly, this is probably only in Japan. Yeah, collaboration Japan. Seems like it might be Japan only. Eorzean, some of it will probably be covered in the future. I'm gonna do a trailer analysis and some live letter analysis video that will come up. I'm sure Mr. Happy or Zeppler or other people will also post about this in the hours to come. So you probably can catch most of it on the Lodestone, as well as rewatching through this, as well as any of those. It's finger looking good. You think we'll get the event here in some way, shape, or form like we have in Events Pass? Swiftblade will probably get it at some point. I don't say probably. There's a chance we will get it at some point, or there's at least a chance that it will end up, like the emote will end up on the story. It depends. Because you see that the buckets don't have the KFC logo on them, I think it's more likely to happen. I definitely think it's more likely to be possible. Yes, wants to mean in Japan for email. Well, I have friends in Japan, so I can absolutely get us emotes. But if the codes from this will work on an NA or EU account, which typically they don't, so I don't think that'll work. Japan only, so very important in this set. You're getting Japanese-styled fried chicken burger. Small fries. This is the food that you're getting with it, and then you get the emo as well as some stickers. Kupo Fantasy Chocobo. Yeah, I'm gonna have to send my friend out to grab some for me. Yeah, exactly. I'd imagine we get it since, as far as I know, KFC is an American brand. Except for the deals are different. So it's an American brand, but that doesn't... It's not about availability of existing. It's that, for instance, KFC teaming up with Final Fantasy 14 here, it's become more normal now, but is less of a, like, brand synergy like that is just, like, all over the goddamn place in Japan. It's a little harder here to, like, it would have to basically be its own deal. And, yeah. So. And we got 7-11 one here, so the opening. Yeah. Yeah. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I wouldn't put money on it for now. However, I would put it definitely money on potentially us getting that emo in the cash shop or in the game someday. And now I'm hungry and want an emo. And without an emo, yeah. They have a Mountain Dew flavor called Sweet Langy at KFC. It works as a stripper name in Hell's Creek. Hey, there you go, the TTRPG. If you don't know, they put this up for pre-order already. I definitely pre-ordered one. Maybe we'll play it on stream at some point. But yeah, Final Fantasy tabletop role-playing game. It's a roaster. Japanese partners every brand with everything. They had like ReZero Bleach or something. Yeah, exactly, Swiftblade. I caved and pre-ordered it. Yeah, me too. Domino's had a Miku deal, but not in the US. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Wario. There will be more details about the collaboration on the official website in Japan, but no mention whatsoever about it happening stateside. However, I will say, if you guys really want it to happen stateside, go to the forums and go to places that they check out and politely put feedback. They do read it. And if enough people here are like, we want the KFC too, we want the KFC too, they may not be able to do the KFC crossover event here because that's a whole brand thing they'd have to figure out. But they may be more likely to make sure that the emote for sure gets in the store, gets to us somehow, one way or another. Although I wouldn't imagine it happen anytime while it's still going on in Japan. So for instance, the earliest you would possibly see that is after that collaboration is done, because that's an exclusivity thing, I'm sure. Now accepting pre-orders for the Kanto region event, live in person. This is the fireworks and music. They did one of these for the 10th anniversary a little bit ago. They're going to be doing one of these in Kanto region of Japan. Kanto's in Honshu, right? I have a friend group that does D&D and plays some XIV. I could trick them into playing it. Yeah, there's a good idea, Rune. All Mountain Dew pairs good with vodka. You know what pairs really well with sake? Dr. Pepper and Coke. Just saying. Yeah, it comes with all its own dice. We have announced this on the Lodestone already. A Final Fantasy themed tabletop role-playing game, released in May next year. Yeah, the tabletop game comes out in May. Obviously, there's the... So this is the part where things slow down. They talk about some of their pre-orderable items. There won't necessarily be a ton remaining that will be about game information. It will primarily... There will be some, but maybe little bits here and there, but this will mainly be a lot of merch and other things. So just be aware about that. If you want to catch up on what they've been talking about that's game-specific and content and game mechanic-specific, you're welcome to scroll back through this now. I'd also point out that if you rewatch this, there will not be translations for it. So scrolling back through this may genuinely be worth your time, rather than just rewatching this entire live stream by itself.
ぜひですね、11月3日、祝日となっておりますので、まさにすぐ近くだよね。はい。楽しんでいただければと思います。
I mean, what, Elliot? What?
現在チケットの先行受付をしているところですので、行ってみたいなという方は今のうちにお申し込み
I wonder if cream soda Dr. Pepper would work. I mean, cream soda Dr. Pepper is a thing. They sell it. Dr. Pepper cream soda, at least in America, it's a flavor.
大阪の時ね、具なし焼きそばってきっとみんな知ってる話題になりましたね。 吉田チェックが足りないんじゃねえのって言われた。
So the Paladin says ended any balance I'm talking about only in a general sense. They're going to be doing some slight buffs to some jobs. And the balances that we're going to get over 6.5 and 6.55 are primarily going, or the final like refinements of this of the Endwalker like balance. You're not going to see any major changes. The major changes are all going to come in 7.0. This is all they're just going to be minor refinements to basically try to take what is currently the way it is and make it the best it can be.
なんでそういうことが起きたのかで実際
also those screen the little PowerPoint things that they put up Astria a lot of times are available in multiple places too. So this will end up being on the beach. Some of you may have heard of the yakisoba in Osaka. They didn't actually have any ingredients during the last events. We asked the company responsible to hold an investigation and how they're going to handle those cases. Yeah, so now you're talking about like... Yeah, now they're just talking about logistics of the like firework festival. So won't be that particularly interesting. I have some consideration. Oh, you're just talking about Warhammer 40k. Blood for the Blood Lily. Skulls for the White Mage Throne.
はい、それでは続いてはこちらのお知らせです。どうぞ。はい。
Okay, the next live letter. There will be a live letter that will go over more specific details on October 2nd, the night before. Or actually, yes, and they're going to be holding a like mini live letter to talk about the patch notes in detail. While everything's down for the update.
パッチノートロード会やるってことはちょっとすいません今回は、メンテナンスが長いので、24時間
Yeah, I'll be at 4 a.m. PDT. Oh, that's actually pretty nice. That's like what, 7 a.m. my time?
その分6.5 いろんなものが入りますので、その前日からですね、皆さんと一緒にパッチノート、読んでいこうと思いますので、次はねこちらでお会いしたいと思います。はい、よろしくお願いいたします。よろしくお願いします。はい、そしてお知らせごめんなさい、もう少しございます。はい。続いてはこちらです。どうぞ。
oh, it's going to be a 24-hour maintenance, so it's going to be a major maintenance period. So be ready for that, guys. It's going to be 24-hour maintenance. Which means be prepared to take the second off of Final Fantasy XIV. Obviously, the new free trial is coming out. It's going up to level 70 and up to Stormblood. So if they've got any friends who might be interested, they can play all the way up to the beginning of to right before Shadowbringers begins. Like, now's the time. So I have to play other games. There's a lot of great games out there right now. Baldur's Gate 3, Armored Core, Lies of P, any number of other ones. There are other games. So yeah, next FanFest is the London UK. It's October 21st, a little under a month from now. Expect to see not the Dawn Trail final trailer, but probably something like Female Hrothgar. One of the jobs will be revealed. Stuff like that. Good Spearman. Yeah. Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16. Tears of the Kingdom. There you go. I'm trying to convince some of my friends on Xbox to come. And it's coming to Xbox. Yeah, they're hesitant about a sub game, but this one is worth it. I agree, Michael. And then the other thing is that I think the way to frame it to them is that, you know, they could probably meaningfully have a wonderful time and play like an entire game's worth in 1 month easy, right? So I don't know. To me, it's easily worth it. And also because of that subscription, the game doesn't nickel dime you in a bunch of other ways, and it just feels like you pay for any playing your game. Yeah. I'll never forgive Liza P for being apparently good. I always had faith in it. Maybe I'm crazy. Talking about Japan Fan Fest. Gonna be weird having it in the Tokyo Dome. It's weird, the primals. Last time, I think he's talking about the last time they were at the Tokyo Dome, the primals were like singing and stuff and hearing just their voices in it because there was no like crowd or audience, obviously. ゲームの中と外全部含めて14楽しんでいただくというコンセプトでやってますので、ぜひファンフェスも含めて引き続き14楽しんでいただければと思います。はい、ありがとうございます。Yep, so played. There's a slightly cheaper version too. Yeah, I admitted I bribed him to playing 14 my husband. He said to buy me the game, new computer. I was willing to try. I understand people's hesitance. I even understand some people struggling with even going through ARR. But I have not found a lot of people. I mean, obviously, plenty have, I'm sure. But I've not found it necessarily a lot that once they gave it the time and the chance, didn't fall in love with it. Do you think Yokai Event will ever come back? I don't think so. There would have to be a lot of people asking for it to maybe come back. Basically, I would only expect the mounts to be available at some point for cost, but I would it could. I shouldn't say it could. It absolutely could. There's precedent, the Dragon Quest thing. I would be pretty surprised. I think someone has asked before, and I think there might actually even be precedent talking about it, so I would look into that. When were Bum Boys revealed? Well, last time, you have to remember, going into Endwalker was weird because Corona, so it didn't have the same cadence. That's why you would expect to see Hrothgals being revealed around UK FanFest, is what you should expect. Yokai has already run twice. Yeah. I'm wondering if we get to see FEMA. We'll probably see FEMA off at, again, UK FanFest with anything. We'll probably get the Sembono Alliance reveal at London FanFest as well. We might get the banner, yeah, like how we got Mists of the Realm and Pandemonium. Although it's quite possible we might, again, Endwalker was very weird because of a lot of things. You think we run Shantoto? Here's my, I'll say I'll hate. Could they or would they? Maybe. Is it likely? Unless people are jonesing for it. Like Lightning, not just in Yokai. Yeah, they did recently bring back 15. In their defense, they did recently bring back 15. If anyone's planning to go to Japan in October, I'll pay you to pick me up some KFC meal. Again, remember that the code probably does not work on an NA or EU account. Be forewarned. We will check. I'll check, but I also have friends in Japan. So if you want to come join our Discord, and you'd like to potentially pay me some money to have my friend pick you up a code, you can join us at discord.gg/Eorzean. But again, it probably won't work. Big real chance. If it's not revealed at UK, it 100% will be revealed at JP. Because JP is going to have the Dawn full trailer, almost certainly. The UK one would probably, one of the big things they would do is reveal female Hroth, because it's one of the things that they can, that they have, that they could. You know, one of the bigger things. Okay. Closing words for Yoshi. It's been 4 years since the last TGS we attended, and I actually didn't have many opportunities to interact with Japanese players in person again, yet. So that really made me happy this time. Thank you, everyone. What about you? Foxconn says, as you said earlier, FanFest is a lot of players, but the feeling is different. Everyone is closer to the stage here at TGS, and so much other noise. Very different, but exciting, but an exciting feeling. Because TGS is both, in some ways, both bigger and smaller, because it's not specifically for Final Fantasy XIV. Okay. Who wants to watch the frickin' trailer again? Yeah, I feel like I might just reach a point later on down the line that they establish long-term contracts for the events and make them permanent, but that will be probably towards the end of the game. I would be surprised if that happened because of perpetuity. I mean, hell, like, even when Square Enix owns the IP, there are complications. Like, the fact that they don't just do 13 Dragon Quest or any of that on easy on repeat is because of art ownership and music ownership, and, like, there's more headaches than you can buy. Yeah, it's a much more of a nightmare than it might seem on the face of it. It's like, well, doesn't Square Enix just own it? It's like, yes, but... yeah, let go. Okay.
Peggy 16.
Can you guys hear it? Do you need me to bump the volume? Let me know. Let me.
To become a world where light and darkness are in harmony, where we're not consumed by insatiable hunger, but filled with hope for what we might create together.
Basically, that's Zero's hope, is to create a world where everything's in balance again. This looks like Baron in the past. Baron or Eblin or one of the nations that are from Final Fantasy IV. What are your thoughts about the life letter? It gave us basically exactly what I expected, Adia.
But filled with hope for what we might create together.
Have a good one, Simply.
This is proof that I believe in others. A light that illuminates the way in darkest despair.
She's gonna become a source
Though
of
I've
light.
lost my connection to Hydaelyn, I can still manipulate light to a degree.
So the question is
I can
this.
still manipulate light to a degree.
I think this is gonna be the Alola, oh my god. Alola dungeon. I think one of the reasons I think that one is also because you can see Alola there, which is specific.
If there is a chance I could save others with that power, then I have to try.
So Reen's gonna do all she can to try and help save the 13th, which is what we expected. The Umbral Aether used from the parts of the Empty, probably stored in maybe the crystal of Hydaelyn's crystal, or the question is, what is Reen going to need to do? Like, obviously manipulate lights to some degree, but why is she framing it like it's dangerous? Hello, as we expect. This is exactly what we expect it to look like. Inside of trees, because we know they lived. That's the kind of sort of buildings. In buildings like that, as well as underground, or where some of the Lollapalooza live. Although it's interesting to see the presence and stuff in the background. I wonder if that's fixing.
However they came to be, we shall cut a path through them.
This is Asura, was a trial from the FanFest. It's a lot of fun. It's a really fun trial. We don't know what it's going to be for, but it's clearly in Thavnir, as we understand it right now. And right now, the main story that's associated with that with Hildebrand.
Everyone ready?
This is the Red Sands. This is the new Crystal Conflict map.
Perhaps I could make such a dream reality. Perhaps I could awaken us from this endless nightmare. Strength. If I had the strength, perhaps I could make such a dream reality. Perhaps I could awaken us from this endless nightmare.
Lakes of Umbral Crystal. This is Scala. This is the 4.1. This is going to be Alliance Tribal Quest, so it's interesting. This is Rala. It looks like the boss. I think that might be the boss from... Rala is the final boss from The Dead Ends. Looks like behind it. Behind it looks like the mid-boss, though. It might be something else. It looks a little weird. Then one of the dragons, obviously. And then there's like... there's the Ragnarok in the background. So that's interesting. And then the Bun's talking about it. Island Sanctuary, new buildings. Or actually, I think those are some of the same. Hail to Brandon Brandyhild. This is almost certainly Limlane with her trident, because it's not going to be Eorzean.
Has mankind hoped and prayed.
This is the heaven of wind, which we know is a land of mountains and vast. Okay, Minfina, Halone, Nymea. I think that's Thaliak back there. Limlane. So also, I think they're standing in the circle of the 12. Hey, okay, wait. If you look, I know what this is. This. God, I should get a poster in the background of the 12 circle. Be pretty handy. There we go. There it is. There it is. It's this. I'm sure this is all backwards, but right now, Halone, Minfina, Thaliak, Nymea, Limlane. So next to Limlane would be Eorzean, and then when we go to the other side of it, so it's hiding Eorzean, because then you got down here, you got Althic, then Nothka, then Nalthal, then Azima behind her, and then Ralgur behind there. So they're hiding Byragot and Eorzean. They're intentionally hiding Eorzean from us. You can see Eorzean. I don't think you can. I don't think so, Hydra. Literally, it cuts off. So this is still, this could be the heaven of water, but this also could be the heaven of wind as we approach. So it's Limlane, so it is the heaven of wind. So this is Eorzean. He's got his bow.
Unto the star, we surrender all.
Yeah, and if we look here, we've got Minfina, the Limlane, so behind. That's interesting. Byragot's here, but Eorzean's missing. Look, you can see Limlane here, and Byragot's here, but you don't see Eorzean in this shot. Oh, but he's here in the middle. Why is Eorzean in a different position while they're all in the correct order?
Unto the star, we surrender our all.
And to the star we surrender our all. They're giving of themselves probably to help the world.
May this light illuminate your way. If this power were mine. May this light illuminate your way.
May this light illuminate your way. Oh, wait. Are those supposed to be, Thalos? Oh, I hope they are. That would be, because Thalos were a pair. Yeah, so obviously they're in Amarang near where the easiest access into the empty is. I don't know what that light is, but she's helping her to channel the light. But is it into her because she can balance it with her own darkness, and because she can act as a vessel for it? The same
May this light illuminate your way.
Oh, that's not Minfilia. I think that's I'm forgetting her name. Captain Lena.
May this light illuminate your way.
That's Lena's voice actress.
Your way.
That's flying. Okay, us. We're flying on Mare Lamentorum on top of oh my god. Britra into the 13th. Because the gateway to the 13th is still there. Heaven of Water, Thaliak doing math. Literally, they're even using the same fonts and the same visual effects as they used for the Hildebrand like calculations.
If this power were mine to wield.
Hear my voice and return to me, Hydaelyn.
Well, however, Golbez returns is also going to be. However, the Fiend's return probably too, presumably.
Oh, did you go there, grandfather? To To the Golden City and to Ral.
This is interesting. This looks like a dungeon. So we know the lunar subterranean is a dungeon, but this looks like a memory. And that's an FF4 boss.
Grandfather.
This is a memory of the Flood of Darkness almost, because these are all voids. No, that's not a void scent. Those are from like Eureka and some of those are Scalekin, and that Manticore.
To the Golden City and to Ral.
No, so maybe this is before the Flood of Darkness. Maybe alternatively, as we're going through the lunar subterranean, we go through one of the cracks created by Zeramis, and we end up in another reflection. Because we still have, okay, actually here, is our companions the same? It's Zero, Y'shtola, and Varshan. And here it's the same companions, so maybe it's all still the same dungeon.
Thus will the way open to the promised land and the death we have been too long denied. Thus will I, Golbez, bring salvation to all.
Your friendship and your trust has helped me to see new possibilities. And together, our light can pierce blackest darkness.
Her entire story has been about overcoming the cynicism and apathy, right? Her entire story is about learning that it's right to save your people, but it's not right to do so at the cost of others. And it to not just become Golbez into Durante Golbez. I think it's just Durante. Yeah, I think it's just original Golbez. That was Golbez's friend. Yeah. The Dark in it looked like that guy that was with fake Golbez. The Dark Knight? The Dark Knight when in the dungeon, I'm assuming. That guy. Yeah, he does. It does look. You're right.
Go there, grandfather.
This guy here.
The gold.
And this looks like the Red Knights of Baron, so it would make sense that he would potentially be the guy too, because if he's the Cecil stand-in. Or it could be Durante. Or it could be Durante.
Golden
Yeah.
City and to Ral.
Amar, sadly, you won't be able to stateside at least for a while, because the codes usually don't work cross nation, across like server. So for now, it just won't be available in the EU and
Thus will the way open to the promised land.
It's also possible that because, I mean, honestly, on parts of the lunar subterranean almost look like white Orisite. It's possible that parts of Golbez's memory have been stored. No, the guy in front with the other two knights, Durante's unique hair.
City into.
Let's go back. Oh, here. Yes, sorry. This guy. This is him. Right here. He has the sword. He not only has the hair, he has the sword. So that's definitely Durante. So the question is this Golbez? Him having sword and shield would support the Cecil thing I was talking about.
City into Ral.
It's a memory. Well, it's definitely a memory of the 13th before the Flood of Darkness. One, Durante being compared as that. Two, it's Baron. It literally has the red knights and everything. You can even see ships with red sails in the background.
Thus will the way open to the promised land and the death we have been too long denied. Thus will I, Golbez, bring salvation to all.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep watching this for fun at some point, but I gotta start also working on the video for it before it stops being relevant. So, actually, let me find a good thing to. I'll just leave that out. Okay, guys, so we're gonna start. Thanks for joining me for the live letter. We're gonna start wrapping it up here. Friendly reminder: if you want to join our lovely little community, we play as Final Fantasy 14 together. We also do a lot of different events in 14, talk about lore, have things like book club, do frontlines, any number of stuff. And you'd like to play with some other people, like-minded people, you can join us at discord.gg/Eorzean archives. You can also check out our videos on this channel. And if you want to support us, you can support us on Patreon.com and get your name in the banner above my head as well at the end of videos. Beyond that, we should have a trailer analysis out hopefully within the next 48 hours. I wish you all a good day. Thank you so much for joining this. I'm quite excited for 6.5, and I will be very excited to be playing it with y'all for both mechanical and narrative reasons. And the implications therein. Obviously, 6.55 will be coming out a couple months, about 3 months after that, and that is exciting in its own right. But guys, we are in what is going to be the period of time heading into an expansion with 7.0. It is the perfect time to do old content, have a wonderful time to try and replay through the game again, to take a break if you want. So I am looking forward to doing all of it with you guys, and much, much more. In the meantime, if you want to reach out to me, you can also message me on Discord if you have any lore questions or anything like that. Okay. Any final questions? Any final thoughts? Any things that people want to tell me? Are you guys excited for 6.5? Is everybody excited for 6.5? Yes, yep, yeah. I mean, probably no big surprise there. Thank you, Ray, for doing all the links. Thank you much to the Ray. Catching up on Zero Restoring Italy. Zero Restoring Italy. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of Italian inspirations. You're not wrong. I'm debating if I should take a day off work for batch. I say do it, Des, because I definitely want to be. I want you to be there when we do our first Thalia run. Speaking of, we'll be doing a full group Thalia run if we can get 24. We'll see. First run of it blind. So if people are interested in joining for that, definitely do. I really need to do Golbez EX for his weapon for now. Hey, if you want help doing Golbez EX and other content like it, you can. I know I'm promoting, but again, like if you want to join people, to have people that come help do stuff, we run a lot of stuff like that over on the Discord. Still very away from me as I'm the only at the end of Shadowbringers. Well, Astria, now's a great time to take the time to catch up. And I mean that, and you don't have to feel rushed, right? Because yeah, it's far away, but there's about 10 months between now and the release of 7.0. You'll catch up before you know it. And then it'll be like, okay, now what? And you've got a plethora of things to do. Yeah, can't afford the time to do it right now due to monotone. Yeah, Golbez is the only one I haven't stepped a foot in cleared. Don't forget, also 6.5 is going to see augmented gear. You're going to see augmented tombstone gear, and so the stats and fundamental baseline of everyone is going to be upped enough. Things like Zodiarch EX, which is already a joke, will be more of a joke, and things like Golbez will be far more doable and far more approachable. Also, I would like to say a big thank you to the Final Fantasy 14 Discord for helping with translations with Miuna and Iluna, and all the wonderful work that they do over there. It is very helpful to be able to check that over and over again without having to necessarily focus on translating everything. And also, I'm sure I would do a worse job if I was solo. But yeah, I'm going to call it there. I thank you all for joining me. I have been Elliot Forsteron, and I will see you guys later. Cheers.